Hey everybody, Nick here. Hope you're doing well tonight. I am back with another Halloween video. Today what I am going to talk about is I'm going to dive into the biggest mistake in each and every movie in the Halloween franchise. So stick around because I even have a mistake for the OG Halloween, and I never say anything negative about that movie. So stick around and see what I have to say about that. As always, if you like Halloween videos, I know you guys probably get sick of me saying this, but please hit that subscribe button. It's the best way to support the channel. Obviously, you don't have to, but I really appreciate everyone that subscribes. I really appreciate every single comment I get on my videos. You guys are great. I love the banter. I love the ideas you guys have. So thank you so much for always being proactive with that. So let's get right into this. It's going to be one mistake per movie. So obviously Halloween 5 has cajillion mistakes. I'm just going to say what I think is the biggest mistake in each movie. And we're going to go in descending order, starting with Halloween 2018. So in my opinion, the biggest mistake in Halloween 2018 was not including a classic stalking scene. Now, there's so much that Halloween 2018 got right, especially compared to a lot of the other sequels. A lot of things right, the mask, you can go on and on about different things that that movie did well. But if you want me to believe that this is the same shape, the same Michael Myers, the same boogeyman that stalked and killed teenagers at the Doyle house and the Wallace house, you need to include a stalking scene. And we didn't really get anything like that. The closest we got was what? Him stalking, what's that kid's name? The kid in Mr. Elrod's backyard. That's the closest we got. And I actually love that scene, but it wasn't a classic stalking scene like the scene with Annie in the original Halloween. So obviously I want to see more of that in Halloween Kills, but that I think is the biggest mistake, the biggest misstep that they made in Halloween 2018. Moving right along to Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. For my money, I don't like this film. I don't like either of these films, either of the zombie films. But for my money, the biggest mistake is showing the Shape's face. I get what he was doing, saying the mask has power and, makes him want to kill, or when he wants to kill, he needs to put the mask on. I get all that. And Zombie had a lot of creative freedom here, for better or worse. There actually are some good things in this movie, believe it or not. But for me, it's just sacrilege to show the Shape's face. So I'm not going to really talk too much more about that. I get the White Horse was pretty terrible too. But for me, it's unforgivable to show the Shape's face. Moving right along to the original Rob Zombie Halloween, the remake from 2007. No surprise here. It's going to be the white trash, hick, hillbilly, whatever you want to call it, backstory of Michael Myers. Absolutely awful. You guys have heard me say this ad nauseum, that I hate having this backstory. I hate that they showed anything regarding Michael's backstory. But if they were going to show something, not this. I mean, my God, just a nightmare. It's unwatchable. It is absolutely unwatchable. Skullfuck, just trash. So I don't even want to talk about it anymore. But that, in my opinion, is the biggest mistake in Zombies remake. Now, Halloween Resurrection. Trick or Treat, motherfucker, is not it, actually. Now, that's a horrible misstep. Everything with Busta Rhymes in this movie is a horrible misstep. But, in my opinion, the greatest mistake this movie made was getting rid of the ending of Halloween H2O. So basically, the biggest mistake this movie made was existing. Because in order to exist with the Shape, with Michael Myers, it had to figure out a way to retcon the ending of Halloween H2O, where Michael got his head cut off by Laurie. What they did with it was fucking stupid. So it just took away all the weight that movie carries. So that's the biggest mistake. That's even bigger than Busta Rhymes, and that's a huge mistake. So Halloween H2O. Biggest mistake is moving the setting of this movie to California. you guys have heard me say this in previous videos. I get that they had to move away from Haddonfield. I get to be realistic, to have Laurie go into hiding. That they had to get away from Haddonfield. But it shouldn't have been California. Go to the Northeast then, the other coast, where it can kind of have more of an autumn Halloween feel. It's not going to be exactly like the Midwest, but it's going to be chilly. It's going to feel more like Halloween. Maybe she moved to, somewhere near Salem or something like that has a great, distinct Halloween feel to it. Not what they did in H2O. They just screamified it and moved her to California, and it was unnecessary. And it really took away, a lot of mistakes. This movie made a lot of mistakes, in my opinion. But that's the biggest, is, not having that Halloween autumn feel to it. Halloween 6. No surprise here. The biggest mistake is The Curse of Thorn. Obviously, you get to the 6th installment of a franchise. And technically, it's the 5th one with Michael Myers. You got to start explaining shit. I totally, 100% understand that. That's just par for the course. That's the way these things work. I get it. But The Curse of Thorn was stupid. There's a constellation in the sky that, he has this tattoo. Obviously, that came in Halloween 5. But there's a constellation in the sky. Every time it appears, he appears, and he has to kill his family because of that? Yikes. So the Druids, The Curse of Thorn, all that nonsense. Huge, huge mistake. You could have come up with something better. How that was the best idea is beyond me. I wonder what ideas didn't get made. So, yeah. Big mistake. That's the worst for me. Coming in at number 5. Getting to Halloween 5. My favorite movie in the franchise. Yeah, right. Obviously, you guys know me. If you've watched any of my videos in the past, you know how I feel about Halloween 5. So, which of the cajillion mistakes do I think is the worst? For me, it's going to be the clown cops. I know that there's probably mistakes that happened in this movie that has more screen time, that affects the franchise more. But the clown cops are just unforgivable because it just turns it into, whenever they're on there, it's, Looney Tune-ish. It's, just the whole vibe of the movie is like Saturday morning cartoon, like a Scooby-Doo fucking episode. And that's just disrespectful to a franchise like Halloween. And it's just unforgivable, in my opinion. So that takes the cake in the conundrum of which of the million mistakes in Halloween 5 do I think is the worst. All right, let's get to Halloween 4. The biggest mistake in this movie is the mask. So there's a couple different things here with the mask. First of all, the mask that's used throughout the movie is horrible. It's distracting. You guys know that I've said that before. But the schoolyard scene, where Michael basically has a pink mask with blonde hair, if you haven't seen that, or you haven't noticed that, look it up. It's true. How the fuck does A, nobody noticed that while it's being shot, B, nobody noticed it in post-production and say, we can't show this, and C, does anyone even take it out of the box and say, okay, here, what the fuck? When they took that mask out of the box, they should have done one thing. Taken a lighter and set it on fucking fire. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So that's the worst mistake in Halloween 4 for me. Halloween 3, the Silver Shamrock, baby. The worst mistake with this movie, and this movie is not perfect, even though, it's finally getting its due. But for my money, and same with a lot of people, for my money, the worst mistake is calling it Halloween 3, and not just calling it, Season of the Witch or whatever. So it's kind of marketing, and I get that it was 1982, you didn't have social media where they couldn't explain things. They couldn't really explain, hey, this has nothing to do with Michael Myers. But you just set the movie up for failure when people are going to see the next Michael Myers, or the next chapter in the Michael Myers saga, and it's nothing to do with it at all, So the biggest mistake is, it's kind of marketing and the title. Halloween 2. Sure, there's no surprise here. Biggest mistake is the brother-sister storyline. Look, I love Halloween 2. I love the setting. I love so much about this movie. But the brother-sister storyline is unnecessary, and it just kind of handcuffed the franchise for the next, 30 years and counting. Even they got rid of the angle in 2018, but not everyone, but a lot of casual Halloween fans don't even realize it. So it just handcuffed it. You never even saw Laurie have a reaction to this news. All it was a quick mention by Nurse Chambers in the back of the marshal's car to Loomis, and Loomis saying, "Jesus, don't you see what he's doing here? He killed one sister 15 years ago, now he's back to kill the other." Boom. Nothing else. Never mentioned again. Never seen Laurie's reaction. So it's just unnecessary. So that's the biggest mistake in that movie, in my opinion. Now, let's get to the OG. Look, in my opinion, no film, including Halloween 1978, is perfect. It's impossible to be perfect. But in my heart of hearts, Halloween 1978 is a perfect film, even though it's technically not perfect. There's all kinds of different mistakes. You even see Carpenter's smoke, from a cigarette behind a bush. But for my money, this is going to be kind of cheating here a little bit, but for my money, the biggest mistake is not originally filming and including the TV cut versions of Loomis's scenes in the original movie. Now, was it really a mistake to do that? No, it wasn't. But I just love the TV cut versions of Loomis talking. You got the version where he's talking to kind of the board, saying, "Michael Myers is the most dangerous patient I've ever seen. This is only a minimum security facility." And then you got him going into Michael's room, Michael sitting there staring at the wall, and him saying, "You fooled them, Michael, haven't you? But not me." Those two scenes, I love them. I know they're not canon. I totally understand that. I know they weren't even filmed when they filmed the original Halloween. They were filmed when they were filming Halloween 2, 1981 for the TV cut. I get all that. But if I had to choose a mistake that Halloween 1978 made, it's not thinking to include those scenes, because I really think that they give a lot of context to both Loomis and Myers, and it doesn't take away from the mystique of the shape. It kind of just shows, that Loomis has been fighting this good fight, for the last 15 years. So it's not necessary, but I just love them so much, I wish that they were included. So let me know what you guys think. What do you guys think were some of the biggest mistakes? Do you guys agree with a lot of the things I said? Do you wish I would have said something else? Did I totally fuck this up and, not include an obvious one? Let me know, and thanks for watching.